What's up, everybody? This is King L Bay. I'm doing this video on the 14th Amendment, the Strawman and the 14th Amendment. So, this is the 14th Amendment is what's supposed to make the Strawman. So, let's dive in and take a look. Okay. It says, according to the 14th Amendment, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the states where they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privilege or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction an equal protection of the law. So, um, as you look at this and you're trying to understand what this is, so it says all persons born. So we know that persons can mean corporations. Um, so we needed to look at this word born and determine um, what do they mean by the word born. So let's take a look at the definition born. Um, born live test under common law showing that an infant was completely expelled from the mother's womb and passed and possessed a separate and independent existence from the mother, and showing that an infant at the time of birth was capable of living a separate and independent existence, regardless of how long the infant actually lived. So, let's say born alive test. Now let's go down here. Born valid. Patents presumed to be good. Presumed to be good. Entitled to the legal presumption that a patent was justified when issued, and challengers bear the burden of proving by clear and convincing evidence that the patent should not have been granted. Okay? Defense against infringement claims make one of three texts: denying the product infringed on the plaintiff rights, challenging the validity of the patent itself, or challenging its enforceability, also termed presumption of validity. The patent statute is unambiguous. A patent shall be presumed valid. The burden of establishing invalidity of a patent or any claim thereof should rest on the parties asserting such invalidity. A patent is born valid. It remains valid until a challenger proves it was still born or had birth defects or is no longer viable as an enforceable right. You see, all this stuff still born, birth defects. You would assume that they're talking about a child. Let's see. Let's just go to, let's see. Let's go to here, see what the patents mean. Just go here. A government authority or license conferring a right or title for a set of period, especially the sole right to exclude others from making, using, or selling an invention, compared with letter patents. It's a authority or government license. Mm. So is the birth certificate a license? Is it a license for you to do business within the United States? A lot of people say it's a bond. Is it a license that's connected to a bond? Hmm. Some may wonder. Let's continue to go on. Now, let's take a look at the word U.S. citizen. U.S. citizen is usually acquired by birth when a child is born in the territory of the United States. In addition to the U.S., this includes the District of Columbia, Guam, Puerto Rico, the Northern Mariana Islands, and U.S. Virgin Islands. A U.S. citizen has the right to live and work in the United States and receive federal assistance. There are two ways to become a U.S. citizen: by birth, in which a person is presumed to be a citizen provided that they are born within the territorial limits of the United States, or through citizenship of a parent and naturalization, a process in which an immigrant applies for citizenship and is accepted. Both ways to citizenship are specified in the Citizenship Clause of the Constitution of 1868, 14th Amendment. Okay, I just want to read that. So, you are presumed, if you're born, you are presumed, okay, you are presumed. Here go that word again, presumed. Presumption, legal presumption. So let's look up presumption. Presumptions just that, a presumption that certain evidence is what it is on its face. Sometimes, however, a presumption can be rebutted by other evidence. A presumption is not considered evidence. Wow. It said it's not considered evidence. So a presumption is not really evidence, but if an opponent to a presumption puts on no evidence to rebut the presumption, the judge or jury must assume the existence of the presumption is fact. Ain't that a trip? It ain't really evidence, but because somebody presumes something, they got to presume it to be a fact. You see how these wordsmiths put these words together? A presumption is not evidence, but at the same time, if you don't rebut the presumption, it's going to be consumed or presumed to be a fact or presumed to be true. Come on now. That's why I said you got to learn not to play this game. That's why I keep trying to tell people, get your contract game up. I'm saying this for a reason. Okay? Now we looking at these words and seeing how they're playing with the words. Okay? They playing with the words. Let's move on. And I'm going to show you something. Um, Now we're going to go down to congressional records. Library of Congress, Office of Business Enterprise, Duplication Service Section. This is to certify that the collection of the Library of Congress contain a serial entitled a, a serial entitled Congressional Records, Proceedings and Debates on the 90th Congress, First Session, Volume 113, Part 12, June 12, 1967 to June 20th, 1967, pages 15309 to 16558, and that the attached photocopies um, from the serial, the title page and pages 15641 through 15646 are true representations from that work. And witness whereof the seal of the Library of Congress is affixed to and on April 4th, 2016. Look at this, Congressional Records. United States of America, Congressional Records. Let me go here. Mr. Speaker, I would ask to include that the record following my remarks, House Concurrent Resolution 2008 of Louisiana Legislature urging this Congress to declare that the 14th Amendment illegal. Also, I include in the record and information as well as annotated treatise on the illegality of the 14th Amendment, the pleidoy of our secessionist judge, which has been prepared by Judge Linder H. Perez of Louisiana. The material referred to as the following. Now I want you to look at this. A concurrent resolution to expose this unconstitutionality of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States to interpose the sovereignty of the states of Louisiana against the execution said amendment in this state to memorialize the Congress of the United States to repeal its joint resolution of July 28, 1868, declaring that said amendment had been ratified, and to provide for distribution of certificates of copy of this resolution, whereas purported the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution was never lawfully adopted in accordance with the requirements of the United States uh, Constitution, because 11 states of the Union were deprived of their equal suffrage in the Senate in violation of Article 5. Article 5, when 11 southern states, including Louisiana, were excluded from deliberation and decisions in the adoption of the joint resolution proposed. Said 14th Amendment, said resolution was not presented to the President of the United States in order that the same should take effect as required by Article 1, Section 7. Now we're going to go down here. Thereby nullifying said resolution and making it impossible for the ratification by the constitutionality requiring three-fourths of the state. Said southern states were denied their equal suffrage, and the Senate had been recognized by proclamation of the President of the United States to have the duly constitute governments with all the power which belong to a free state of the Union, and legislature of 7 of said southern states had ratified the 13th Amendment, which should have failed of ratification, but the ratification of said 7 southern states. I'm gonna go up here. Secretary of State include the purported ratification of the military enforced rump legislature of 10 southern states whose lawfully legislature had previously rejected said 14th Amendment, and also include a purported ratification by the legislation of the state of Ohio and New Jersey, although had written their legislative ratification several months previous, all of which proves absolute that said 14th Amendment was not adopted in accordance with the mandatory constitutional requirements set forth in Article 5 of the Constitution, and therefore the Constitution itself strike with nullity the purported 14th Amendment. Okay? Now, if the 14th Amendment was never ratified, what is making the straw man? Hmm. And if Congress got plenary power to make to over interstate commerce, and we're gonna go here. What do I do with it? It says, here you go, the plenary power doctrine and the powers of Congress. Plenary power doctrine, the powers of Congress. Congress may set terms for the interstate transport of persons, products, or services, even if this regulation affect interstate activities. Congress may regulate interstate activities that have a close and substantial relationship. Do you understand? They have the power. They have complete power over interstate commerce. Interstate commerce. Interstate transportation of persons. Even if it affects intrastate activities. Congress may regulate intrastate activities that have a close relationship and substantial relationship to interstate commerce. So they can tell the state what to do when it comes down to, it can tell the state how they regulate certain activities within their commerce due to the fact that they controlling a particular interstate commerce that directly affect the intrastate commerce. That means they have complete authority over that. Now, what do that tell you? Here it go right here. Plenary power, complete power over a particular area with no limitations. This is often used to describe the commerce power of Congress under the Commerce Clause, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 3. Congress grant full power to over interstate commerce. The court has found that the states are not able to pass laws affecting interstate commerce. Okay. So why would you put yourself in this jurisdiction? Let's think about that. Now, what I love about this, it tells me something though. If contract, let me see. Let's go here. That's why I try to tell people minimum contact swing both ways. Okay. Check this though. If no state can interfere with law impairing the obligation of the contract, don't the contract has plenary power? Don't you got plenary power when you have a contract where the states can't interfere with the obligation of that contract? So if you got complete control over your contracts, that means you got plenary power. And if the straw man never existed, or if the 14th Amendment didn't create the straw man, what created the straw man? Only thing you can say is contract. Don't you fill out your taxes? Don't you go get a job claiming that you're U.S. citizens? Under these contracts, you imply to be a U.S. citizen in which they have plenary power over, complete control over the U.S. citizens, which the U.S. citizen is interstate commerce. He's outside the state's jurisdiction. And even when he's inside the state jurisdiction, the feds still got complete control over him. I also did a video. If you go and watch my video, and I'm not gonna go to the statute because I'm about to cut this video short, where I show where the state, and I think I also did on the King L. Bay show, I talk about where the state, in accordance to my state statute, the state has the power, the federal government grant the state power to destroy federal property. I got a video on there. That's why y'all need to watch all my videos. And if you like blog talk, listen to my radio shows. Go to the King L. Bay show and look it up. I talk about how, and I mentioned the statute, that how states have the right to rehabilitate. They have the right to destroy federal property. They give them the right to destroy federal property. So, letting you know, you and your straw man was created through contract, an implied contract. The 14th Amendment really don't apply to you. You don't got no equal protection. Nor you nor do you have the right, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Nor do you have the right for due process. Now, under this clause, you think about that. Let's think about it. 14th Amendment, unconstitutional. It's a fraud. So you're a U.S. citizen, you don't got all the rights you think you got. It's presumed, you presume to be a U.S. citizen, which we know presumptions, it's not evidence. Then Congress got plenary power over U.S. citizens, complete control. And I also told you in the Ohio Revised Code that the state has the power to destroy federal property and rehabilitate it. Go watch my videos. Watch them all. Take the time and watch my videos. I drop a lot of science. So everything is contract. But then you turn around under the contract clause. No state can impair the obligation of a contract. Do you get it? That's why I say, this is King L. Bay. Get your contract game up. Get your contract game up. Understand the rights of privacy. I drop so much jewels, and watch the series on Ghost in the System. This is Ghost in the System 7, the Strawman and the 14th Amendment. Keep watching out for more videos. I'm dropping this science, man. I'm getting everybody on to this information so you can understand what's going on. Trying to help you connect these dots so you can understand how to get your contract game up so that you can enforce your contracts. This is King L. Bay. I'm signing out. I'm just dropping these jewels. Now you can ask yourself these questions. You know, ask yourself, am I a U.S. citizen? Am I a 14th Amendment citizen? Do I have any rights? Do they have to afford me due process? Since you understand that, if you consider yourself a U.S. citizen, King Al Bay dropping his science. Peace and love to everybody who keep watching these videos. I got more to come. Peace.